What we have here today, let's start off with this bag, this big one. This is the Think Tank Logistics Manager that holds my Alien B and Einstein lights. And today I'm going to be using two Einsteins, I believe. I need them to be at pretty low power. I don't need a whole ton of light. The picture that I'm going to make could easily be made with hot shoe flash, except for the fact that I want to use my Palsy Buff white 22-inch beauty dish, and that is in this Flashpoint bag. Flashpoint is made by Adorama. So I'm going to be using two Einsteins, one for the subject, one for the background. That background is going to be this pop open white reflector diffuser. It's kind of large enough for a head and shoulders headshot kind of thing. This is the Airport Navigator, and this is my medium format rig, and that's going to be for kind of my main hero shot that I want to get today, the headshot, clean white background. That's going to be shot on medium format. I have another small Think Tank. I love Think Tank bags. I'm not sponsored at all by Think Tank, but I have this small retrospective Think Tank. That's got my small cameras in there, just two small cameras going on in that for anything else I want to shoot. And then we've got some old Matthews C stands with Kupo knuckles and Kupo arms, because I have Kupo C stands and I have Matthews C stands, and the parts and pieces usually end up getting mixed and matched. So two C stands. The arm is going to act kind of like a small boom for the beauty dish. The other arm on this one is going to act as a background holder, because I'm just going to use some A-clamps to put that reflector thing on there. And then I have a small LumaPro tiny little black stand for my background light. And I've got a sandbag that I will be bagging the stand that has the light on it, and an apple box for my subject to sit on. You always need a couple of apple boxes. The stands and that stuff are going to get packed into this Kata soft bag that I have. We're just moving in and out of the car, and I'm not flying. I have a lightware stand that has wheels on it. If we were flying with some of this stuff, I'd probably take the one with wheels. We're not, and I actually have some assistance from Bernard, and he can carry that. He's an intern. Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm going to use two lights, and I'm going to have a little background. Got a couple C stands and a small background stand and a medium format and a small format and a beauty dish. And then I'm going to show you what I do with the pictures after the shoot. Why am I pointing like a douchebag? Yeah, I'm a douchebag. I'm one of those douchebags photographers. Today I'm heading out on a photo shoot to photograph a gentleman by the name of Rabbit. And this is for JR's Inside Out project. And I'm really honored to get to be a part of this. A group of folks and artists here in Atlanta have decided that they want to do an Inside Out project for Atlanta. And we have this area called the Beltline, and the Beltline touches 45 neighborhoods here in Atlanta. So what we're going to do is go out and take a portrait of one person in each neighborhood. There are 45 photographers going out, photographing in each of the 45 neighborhoods. And my subject is Rabbit, and we are packed up. I'm also going to be shooting this for my Faces and Spaces project. I think Rabbit's going to be a great addition to that personal project that I'm working on. And we're going to be shooting some medium format and some small camera and some lights and some available light stuff. So we're gonna pack up and get out. setting up 2 Einsteins. All right, let's get the background stand and background light in.
Oh yeah, they came out of the neighborhood. My hobby is wood carving. I've done this back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Raccoon.
That's awesome.
And that lady that lives here, that oil painting, though, I done that. And then in the living room, I got my, yeah, it must be pretty good. I just do it for
Gotta keep all the gear in one place so we don't end up having caps and miscellaneous items laying all over the place that we're going to lose. You know, there's a lot of DIY beauty dishes, and there's some pop-open beauty dishes and things like that these days. You know, they're fine, but there's just something about this particular dish that I love. I know it, and it's my favorite.
weirdo.
I'm just wanting to make sure that my light is above my subject, getting good light in the eyes, and but not too high up that I'm getting shadows right under here. Let's see what F4. Let's take the lens cap off. So let's bring it up a half a stop. Right there, I can see all of the swatches.
I didn't see the makeup package you brought, so
Yeah.
I guess this is it.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't need it. Perfect. So right there, that's looking great. Looking right in my camera. Just check focus and exposure. This camera is kind of a beast. If I don't nail the exposure or focus, it's either on or off.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Perfect. Just getting in kind of close here. And then a big smile. Just a big smile. Just imagine your face huge on a wall kind of thing, you know? It's gonna be great. That's great. That's fantastic. And now one just a little more serious.
Okay.
Perfect right there. I'd like to get one where you're just kind of looking down. You're
Okay.
just kind of right there. That's fantastic. Great. Hold that right there. And then just cut your eyes to the camera. It's kind of like you gotta play a lot of notes to make one song.
Exactly.
So I take a lot of pictures to get that one shot.
I understand.
Yeah.
I like your better that way. One might not be working out.
Gives us options. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pack this gear out of here, get that put away. I'm gonna go to a more simple setup for this next shot.
Okay.
So, relax.
Okay.
And we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Right in, let's see, wherever you're comfortable there.
It
Let's
didn't.
see. I think that's great. Just like that. Fantastic.
So what camera are you using?
This is the new Sony Z100S. It's really, really a fantastic camera. Love it. Love it. That's great right there. And then just cut your eyes to the camera.
Yes, forward hatch. F-O-R-W.
So this is my post-production station where I work on all my images and videos and things like that. I'm currently kind of switching out some hardware, and I'm kind of in between how I've got stuff set up, but I'm pretty happy with this at the moment. I've got the LG 34-inch 21:9 monitor as my main monitor. I have an Apple display over here as it's my second monitor, but this panel's so huge, I kind of think of it as my third monitor over there. I'm stepping up from a Mac Mini to a Mac Pro, and the only reason I have a Mac Pro is for video. And over here I have the Lexar HR1 hub. It's a USB 3. I bought it, and of course not long after I bought it, the Thunderbolt version came out. Plug one into the CF, plug one into an SD. I have different modules for this. It's pretty great. And I'm going to copy them over to my working drive, which is a G-Tech dual drive 8 terabyte RAID. And I have a second one of those as an archive. And I'm in Photomechanic 5. And I'm going to go to File, Ingest, and I'm going to pick my two cards. I'm going to set my primary destination on my working drive. The year is 2014. And this is 1407. What's the date today?
31st.
31st. Damn. 31st, and this is Rabbit for 45 by 45. And here come my pictures from today. I'm currently producing a video that is all about my workflow and my post-production and all of that. And for today's video, I'm just going to be walking you through today's shoot, where I get one headshot ready and one environmental ready. And while this is doing its work and pulling all the images in, I typically go get myself a cup of coffee. All right, we are here in Lightroom 5, and I have my edit. I have 5 headshots, 2 environmentals, and I have 2 shots of my color checker passport. And I brought this in. This is from Bernard. It gives you a little different angle than from what you saw in the video. There you can see kind of the placement of the beauty dish. It's about, I would say, estimate maybe 3 feet at most away from Rabbit. And you can see this secondary Einstein down here is right on his back. So it's right behind him, and the background is maybe 2 feet or so from there. I use the color checker passport to make sure that my color is correct. I use it as a white balance tool, things of that nature. Now, if I want to keep this black and white and color, I'll sometimes just simply create a virtual copy, get that finished, and I will go into basic. And here's my big black and white conversion technique to start with. I click on black and white. Now, I'm not done by any means because it looks flat, and I like my black and white to have some punch to it. So I'm going to take exposure up ever so slightly. And with it being a phase, it can handle anything I want to do to this file. I can jump up and down on it. It'll be fine. And then I'm going to bring... Now I could do this. I'm doing shadows and blacks. I could just simply punch contrast as well. I'm also going to add a little clarity, which is going to add a little contrast. So this is just a simple plain black and white. And I just feel it's too flat and it's too muddy, and it just doesn't have enough snap to it. Where this one, where I've just given it a hair more exposure, I've brought the shadows and crunched those in a bit, and a little clarity, is starting to give it a little more life. You know what I might do? Let's just see. Let's see what happens. Let me pull out a little bit of a gradient here right at the top of his head and just pull that exposure down ever so slightly. Let's pop this over into old Photoshop, and I'm just going to clean up a few little things real quick. So there's one little hair that I'm going to clean up. I'm currently working on a small Wacom Pro tablet. When I'm doing this kind of retouching, I prefer to have a tablet and pen. I'm going to the Jesus tool, the healing brush, because you have to press J on the keyboard. That's my friend Hassel's joke. And I'm just going to go in and take care of that little hair right there and right there. I'm going to leave those. I like those. They're character. I might just go clean up a few little things here on the nose. I'm not going to go in and retouch Rabbit. He has such a great, awesome, just expressive face. Just get a few little things there. And maybe this little stray hair. Soften those edges down. There we go. Now I am going to get my rubber stamp tool. I'm going to go to lighten. I'm going to go to a larger brush. And this little wrinkle in his shirt kind of bugs me. and I could go remove it, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm just going to go in with about a 50% opacity. My stamp mode is in lighten, and I'm just going to just kind of brush over it, and I'm going to do a better job than that. Maybe not such a big brush. And I just want to lighten that up a little bit. Yeah, I'll keep a little texture in there. I think this could use a little more punch, so let's go to color effects. And I go in between pro contrast and tonal contrast a lot. I think I'm going to use tonal contrast for this because it's going to give me a little more control on highlights and so forth. And I'm pretty much done. I'm done with this. I think it's going to print well. I think it has really great contrast and detail. I think when printed really large and wheat pasted to a wall, I'm totally happy with this picture. Now these are right from camera with my X100S. I'm pretty happy with these as it stands. This little area right here on the right side of the frame is kind of bugging me, so I'm going to get a little gradient right here and pull this out. And I'm just going to bring its exposure down just on that gradient because that little bright area was kind of bugging me. And now I'm going to get more of a radial gradient. I want to bring this little bit of a hot spot down. I'm going to invert that mask. And I'm just going to bring those highlights, not down too much. That sucks. I just want to just sneak them down just a little bit. Maybe my exposure down just a hair. I don't want to see it. And get rid of that. Yeah, and I'd call that a day. And I'm going to export. And I'm going to do, this is going to be for my blog. An export. I have presets set up for exports. So that is it. I like this one too. God, he's just a great face. Such a great face. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about lighting, you can check out the One Light at DEDPXL.com. And stay tuned for a forthcoming full-length post-production workflow, nuts and bolts, ins and outs of shooting and post-production and workflow and delivery to clients and all of that. Thank you very much, everyone. Hey, my name is Zack Arias, and this is DEDPXL.com.
Again, don't do the hand thing.
Hey, my name is Zack Arias, and this is DEDPXL.com.
You just gotta put that little hand in there, don't you?
DEDPXL.com. Okay, shut up, Caleb. So.